Hello and welcome. Hi, I'm Jennifer Roig-Francolí. I'm the mind-body violinist and the creator of the Art of Freedom for Musicians. So first of all, I want to apologize for the sound quality. I am working on setting up a live video studio with excellent sound and excellent video because I'm just not happy with the standard I've been working with. I'm going to put my violin down and we're going to get into our topic for today. So, again, sorry about that sound. There's nothing worse than a scratchy, yucky, horrible sound. But my point in this video, starting out playing the violin, was obviously not to offer the best sound quality, okay? What this video is about is how to develop a stellar stage presence so that you can feel comfortable in your body in the presence of an audience. You want to be comfortable on stage, right? You want to have fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I didn't practice. I didn't warm up. I just had this spur of the moment idea, hey, maybe I should just play something. So I grabbed my violin, I tuned it, I played that phrase by myself once before I turned on the video just to make sure it wasn't a total disaster. And then I just, hit the button, started the broadcast, and said, hey, I've got to practice what I preach. So I have been a performer my entire life. I'm a professional violinist, and I'm also a certified Alexander technique teacher, which basically means I am interested in the mind-body connection and how, when you have an integrated, well-organized system that's in keeping with your natural design, you can learn how to do anything with more ease. So today we're going to talk about how to apply that to performance and how to have a stellar stage presence. So I'm going to give you what I think are your three biggest assets as a performer, and you've got to cultivate these three things. But before I talk about those three things, I want to say hello to everybody who's here. Thank you so much for dropping in. I see Angel is here, and I guess I should take a bow because it looks like Angel's clapping. Thank you. Yeah, as you come in, I always love to know who's here. So just throw a name out there, say hello, and we can have a conversation. So this is chat time. I'm here every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern so that we can discuss music, all aspects of being a musician. I talk about mindset, about what's going on in your body, if you have pain or discomfort, anything goes, and send me your questions because I love talking about what you're interested in most. Okay, so, Bethany's here. Hey, Bethany. Bethany says, I finally did a live video last night on Spiegel im Spiegel and was completely comfortable. Hey, congratulations, Bethany. That is great. I would love to hear how you did that. So let us know, okay? All right, before I give you what I think are the three biggest assets for a stellar performance, I want to talk about the one most important thing. And it's the most obvious thing, but we so often forget it. So the most important thing, and the thing that makes your stage presence easy, is if you're practicing it every day, right? You're not going to feel comfortable in your own skin on stage if you're not comfortable in your own skin on a daily basis. That's just guaranteed. There's no way you're going to be able to get up in front of the world, in front of a live video or a live audience, if you're not comfortable with yourself when you're off stage. I think that's a no-brainer. But how many of us actually work on feeling comfortable in our bodies while we are playing our instruments. Very often, we're compartmentalizing things. We're thinking about music making either as a mental activity that you have to concentrate and focus on really hard, or you think of it as some physical activity where you have to work on your technique and get everything lined up with your body. It's not that, okay? It's not. It's a mind, body, whole person that approaches music. And when I'm working with my students, I teach online, by the way. My business is called The Art of Freedom for Musicians. You can message me if you're curious. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to tell you, join my free Facebook group where we talk about all of this if you're not a member yet. It's called the Musicians Mind Body Practice Tribe. And I actually did want to throw that link out there for you. I think, oh yes, it's already there at the top of the post. So hopefully you'll join the tribe if you're not a member yet. But back to our topic. So how many of you out there have ever felt uncomfortable on stage? Let me hear it from you. Okay. I bet you just about everybody out there could use a little improvement in that area. How many of you think that you have excellent, fabulous, perfect stage presence and there's no room for improvement? All right. Let me hear from you too, because I probably want to learn from you. I still get nervous, but I've learned how to turn performance anxiety into performance excitement, and that's a skill in itself. I teach that to my students as well. But presence, 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 presence. It's not just about stage presence. It's about being present to the present moment, moment by moment in your daily life. Let that sink in for a moment. Let yourself become present right now as you're listening and watching me. Are you with me? Let me see. Right? Can you come back to yourself? Forget about the screen for a moment. Just come back to what you're experiencing in the present moment, in your own skin, in your body. All right? Get your mind and body connected. Right? There are specific skills that make that instantaneously easy to do. And if you're going to perform, you need to be able to get connected, centered, and present in yourself instantly. And that takes practice. All right? So that's the big picture, the number one thing that covers it all. If you want stellar stage presence, you need to have stellar life presence. I'm going to say that again. I like that. If you want stellar stage presence, you must have stellar life presence. You've got to be a star every day if you want to be a star on stage. And we're all stars. And it doesn't matter whether you're a beginner musician or seasoned professional from decades of performing. You can be a star right now off stage and then just be yourself on stage and you'll be a star. Okay? That doesn't mean you're going to have a career with millions of people throwing flowers at you on stage. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being so just happy with your life, so present, so centered that you can glow whether you're alone or in front of a billion people. Okay, that's what I think stellar stage presence is about. And that comes naturally to some people, but very, very, very few people are able to be themselves on stage. Tell me, I want to hear from you right now, okay? Tell me if you want to be yourself on stage. Just yes or no, okay? Put it out there, all right? I'd love to see that. I'd love to see your responses there. Okay, now I promised I'd give you what I think are your 3 biggest assets as a performer, and these are essential if you want to give a great stellar performance, okay? Your 3 biggest assets are, number 1, you've got to have the passion. You have to want it, all right? If somebody's pushing you on stage, forget it. All right, it's just, I mean, I guess with some people that's possible. If they get pushed on stage, then they wake up and shine once they see the audience out there. I can imagine that. But that's not really what you want. You don't want to be forced on stage, right? Okay? I certainly don't. I'm not going to go on stage unless I want to go on stage in my mind, body, soul, spirit, heart, my whole self. Otherwise, It's not for me. I want to be able to be fully myself on stage. Okay, so you've got to want it, and you've got to want it with your whole self, passionately. Okay, because that's going to come across to your audience. If you love what you're doing, and you love yourself, and you love your audience, you can't go wrong. Everything's going to be so energized. And again, I keep coming to this idea of stellar. You get to shine out when you're not blocking who you are and that love that is the essence of who you are. You want to share that and let it shine out and stop blocking it. All right, number 2. This seems like a no-brainer. This is actually the thing that I think people focus on the most. Most people are not going to go on stage unless they feel prepared, right? Well, there are people who do, and those are not the concerts you want to go to, and that's not the kind of performer I think you want to be, right? You want to be prepared. You want to present your best possibilities on stage, and so you're going to do the work. You're going to practice. Musicians, we know we have to practice every day. We know we need to practice our technique and our musicality and get it together so that it flows and it can shine out again, and you're expressing the passion you have for the music, right? So you know you need to do the work in preparation so that by the time it is time to step out on stage, you're not worried about that prep work, all right? But here's the catch. A lot of people think they're not ready when they really are. And the reason they feel like they're not ready to go on stage or they're not fully prepared is because of number 3. They're lacking in this one. This one is so important. It's so important. You need to have self-confidence and a powerful mindset, right? And let me just make really clear here, self-confidence is not just about your mind, but it starts here. Real embodied self-confidence, where you are confident in your whole self, that you're going to be able to manifest your desires. And if you want to give a great performance, you trust yourself. You trust that you're able to deliver on what it is you want to give to yourself and to your audience. That includes the body as well. But it starts up here. Mindset is everything, okay? So that's what I've got to say for today. I think I would love to hear, get to hear what you have to say on this, and I'm gonna check your comments in just a moment. But before I do that, I wanna make sure that everybody out here knows, because I keep coming across people in my Mind Body Practice tribe who actually don't know what I do. So I wanted to tell you, I coach all kinds of musicians, from elite professionals who've been at it for a long time to baby beginners, no matter what age. I'm talking about beginner amateurs who just picked up an instrument yesterday. I don't care, because I'm teaching the human being and a human heart that has music inside, and I'm teaching whoever it is how to let that music out without interfering. We're always going to interfere because we're human, right? We're not aiming for perfection here. We're not expecting perfection anyway. So what I do is I teach my version of the Alexander technique, which goes back to the origins of the technique and what Alexander did to cure his performance problem on his own. And so I teach groups and online, right? It's really fun. We have a great time. And I also do private coaching for people who are interested in that. So a good way to start, if you've never worked with me before and you're curious and you need some help with your mindset, I'm just putting that link out there, and I'm hoping, yes, it did show up. Great. So I just wanted to make sure everybody out there knows I have something available for people called the Musician's Mindset Power Toolkit that helps you really with that third aspect, that self-confidence, that mindset. And it's essential. If you don't have self-confidence, don't go on stage, because you're just not going to enjoy yourself. Or you may enjoy yourself by accident, which would be great, but you can't be consistent if you don't really have faith in yourself deeply, you don't trust yourself. You don't trust your skills and your preparation, and you don't trust the audience to love you back, right? That's a big part of it too. So fear is your number one obstacle, and fear has many guises, many masks. Performance anxiety is an obvious one for performers, but I'm talking even about daily anxieties and daily fears that crop up in all areas of our lives. You've got to start paying attention to what you're afraid of. So that's something that I address in that toolkit in a very gentle way. And I also give you a quick mindset reboot that you can use at any time of the day instantly, and it's one of the best things you can possibly do before you go out on stage to help center yourself, calm yourself, become present. That's that number one thing. You've got to have presence off stage to be able to carry that presence on stage and just kill it with that performance. I don't like that. I shouldn't have said kill it. You don't want to kill it, right? You want to love it. Have a great time. I hope that this was useful for you. Oh yes, I want to take a peek at the comments. Oh, hey, Nina and Dirta, you're here. It's lovely to have you. Nina says, trust the audience to love you back. Yes, that's so important. In the Mountain Dulcimer community where I do most of my performing and all solo performing, this is very much the case, and it absolutely helps. Yes. Yeah. I think in the classical world, we tend to easily lose sight of that intimacy between audience and performer because we're so separated, and the performer is up on a pedestal and the audience is down there, or the audience is way up there looking down on the performer. I mean, and we're so far apart. But I think that's changing in the last decade or two. People talk more to the audience from the stage. I love to do that now. I used to be terrified of it, but Alexander Technique helped me not be terrified of public speaking, and now I love it. Here I am. So yes, trust the audience to love you back. That's really important. Angel, thank you for the little plug there. Angel says Jennifer is an amazing teacher. Thank you. You're an amazing student. All my students are so amazing. I am just, yeah, I could go off on that for ages. My students are great, and we have a fantastic community. We are so positive and encouraging and supportive of each other. It's just heartwarming every day and gets better and better. So thank you everybody for being here, and I will see you next Tuesday at the same time. Sorry, not Tuesday, what did I say? Next Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And I also have a session on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's a new kind of thing that I'm doing every Saturday in the Musicians Mind Body Practice Tribe, so you've got to join for that. But it's a question and answer session where just ask Jennifer. Ask me anything related to music making, related to what's going on in the body. If you've got pain or tension, ask me if you've got performance anxiety, anything music related, practice related, performance related, or career related. I would even talk to you about marketing, how to do live videos, practice hacks, anything goes. Ask me. Save up your questions. You can send them to me ahead of time, and we can have a discussion on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern in the Musicians Mind Body Practice Tribe. So have fun with your practicing, enjoy yourself, and oh, Lynn just popped on. Hi, Lynn. Oh, great, I'm so glad. And this is the last thing, and then I promise I'm gonna leave. I talk too much. Lynn says, hi, your help has been important. In a group recital last weekend, I enjoyed it more than I ever have. It's this kind of comment that makes that number one thing for me stronger all the time, that desire and that passion. When my students come back and tell me how they've applied what they've learned from me, and they're loving their music making more, they're not in pain anymore. This happens all the time with really simple shifts that people can make. Lynn, thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. I think Lynn actually has been working with a musician's mindset power toolkit. So I'm really very happy to have that feedback, Lynn. Thanks. So have fun, lots and lots of love, and enjoy yourself. Bye.